This is gonna get ugly. All right, keys in. Focus. And she's dead. Well, as I stand here, and my pile of parts for this car has gotten embarrassingly big, and it's piled all over the car I'd actually rather be driving. It's time to get working on the 04. I went and bought some wheels for it, some seats and stuff like that. I did make a blunder. The wheels for this car are 16-inch, and the tires I had are 17-inch. All of these rollers are all 16s, and they're all different, and they're all shot. Apparently they changed them from 16s to 17s, or it was a sport. Everything I bought was wrong with this. I don't know. So I guess we'll hook this up and just get started and see where we're at, because it's going to be ugly. I got the windows rolled down to try to take some heat out of it, and it is hot today. I haven't cleaned it yet. That's going to happen tomorrow in the morning. We're going to pull the seats and the carpet out and just basically clean up everything and just see what we can reuse and see what we have to replace. I'm probably going to take the carpet down to the car wash and hose it out. That may be the best thing. And if there's any bad stain spots, I think I can get some good carpet dye and we can just paint it. But for now, let's get this OBD2 hooked up and see what we're dealing with. All right, so you want to turn the power to the on and then plug it in down here to this little thingy. This thing should light up. Yep, see it lit up, and now it's going to do a scan, and we'll see what kind of hell I'm in for. So, all right. We have System 2 Lean, Bank 2. So we can do several tests here. Okay, so we have a cylinder 4 misfire, a random misfire, cylinder 8 misfire, System 2 Lean, Bank 1, evaporated emission system leak detected, a small leak, and pressure sensor switch high input. So let's just see what happens when we hit erase. We'll just erase everything. Let it go through its thing again. All right. Some of these codes will come back, some of them will not. So let's fire up this car and see what kind of chaos we can happen. All right. And that didn't take long. Whoops. So the evap system came back, and so yeah, it's not happy. I actually think the check engine light is burned out. Now with the ABS light and the brake light, that's one of two things. Chances are it's just because I got a warped rotor and the brakes are shot. I can go replace the brakes, the brake light should go out, and the ABS light, if I clean the sensors on the wheels, chances are that should go out too. So I know I can get in and check some of that stuff out on the sensor, so on the scanner, so let's check that. I think some of this requires a subscription, so let's go to the ABS and see what happens here. It has an internal fault. So let's erase, see what happens. Erase request has been sent. Let's see if it goes off. No, it did not. So that'll be enough of that for now. Let's pop the hood, and I'm gonna clean up in there today, and then when tomorrow morning when it's cool, we'll pull the seats out and the ground should be dry. So I'm gonna start in the engine bay, which is rather unusual. I don't know why I have so many cars that the trunk keys don't work. These Crown Vics are horrible about that. I would imagine it's just because they never get used. Well, crap. Well, that one actually worked. It didn't work the other day. It hadn't worked. This is the first time it's worked. Weird. I think it was just spiting me because of the video. So for starters, I've got to get this off. And that's a big square bolt. Neck, nut, that's something. It takes a square thing. This was a good guess. It's just a 1/4 inch driver without a socket, and it's just pulled right off. So we'll get this off here. Not a big fan of these, but whatever. Get this off, and come you. Yeah, you go over there. All right. Put that back on there and take a good look. Well, I'm kind of starting to see a little bit of the problem. It's filthy, but bet you that's the leak right there. Oh, I know that's the leak right there. So that's probably what's causing it to run lean. And we're going to have to check out the misfires here in a minute, but I would imagine that with this many miles on it, it's going to be either a coil or a spark plug just fouling out. I would venture to guess they've probably never been changed in 272,000 miles. So let's get this thing hosed down. I have somewhere. There they are. 2 mostly full cans of engine degreaser. So we'll just spray it down, let it sit for a while. I'm just really everywhere, but not in my Coca-Cola, so we'll just have to move that. Yeah, you there, stay. If you're gonna do this, you might as well just go for broke. I don't have my pressure washer up right now, so just dump it all in, and whether you use a second can or not is up to you. Just stay away from the alternator. Yep. I don't know why the foamy seems much more satisfying to use, but it says sit for 10 to 15 minutes, so we'll do that. And I'll regale you with stories of danger and peril. Just kidding. I'll see you in 15 minutes. So it's time. Let's see how bad this leaks. All right, I have something else that has to get fixed. So I need 2 hands, so I'll get with you in a bit. Got Frank hiding out over here. He saw the water and he come out, so it's all right, Frank. He lives by the water spigot. I call him Frank. I call all the toads Frank because they like living right there where it's nice and cool and dry, and they don't cause any problems, so Frank can stay. He's a good tenant, doesn't cause me any trouble, and he eats bugs. So we got the engine bay hosed out. Well, that's some cloudiness. So we'll get this thing started up and see how angry it really is. Trust me, it'll be plenty angry. I just soaked all this electronics but I did do my best to keep the water off the alternator. And while I was waiting, I did armor all this, but I'm going to have to get some goo gone for that. So, let's see what happens. Check fuel cap. Okay. Oh, she is a little angry, but let her warm up. The ground is a beautiful scenic array of oil slick. Hey. Alright. We are going to have to replace the belt, but let's let this thing fire up, get warmed up, and get all dried off, and we'll see what it looks like. Now, as you can tell, we got the bulk of it all off, but it's, like I said, it's angry, and it's actually gonna need a pressure washer, which I'll have to, but I got all the heavy stuff off, and I mean, I could do it a couple more times, and that would probably fix it, but you can actually hear the miss. Listen to this, though. You can hear it through the intake. It kind of gives a woof, like it's sucking somewhere it's not supposed to suck. Now, granted, there's a lot on this car that does suck, but that's not supposed to be that way. I know I got a razor blade around here somewhere. I'd like to get those stickers off. Sentiment doesn't sell cars, so I gotta make it look as plain Jane and as normal as possible, because when you're selling cars, people are just weird about it, so you kind of have to appeal to their sensibilities, and usually that's just enough, but I got a razor blade around here somewhere. So I've got the stickers off, but there's still quite a bit of adhesive, so I'm going to do something I heard about. I'm going to take this rag here, a little bit of WD-40. I'm going to spray down the adhesive and see if this brings it off, because, well, heck, it does everything else but lubricate. Holy crap, it actually worked. Wow, it's off. Still a little bit where that big sticker was, but that's coming off real easy. The only problem is I got a little exuberant with the WD-40, and now I've got to go dig the simple green out and get all that off. But I still got the hose out, so. Part of why I like simple green is not because I'm some kind of hippie. It's because it's environmentally friendly, but not for the reasons that you think. Truthfully, I don't care that much, but I got neighbors with dogs and animals and stuff like that, and it's up to me to be responsible with my chemicals. That way, if their chickens get out, or the ducks behind me get out, or somebody's dog gets out, they're not going to get poisoned by anything that was left. So that's important to me. So, and it works just as well as any caustic cleaner. I mean, it really does. So, and for half the price. So anyways, I got these windows sprayed down. Let's get it all washed off. Frank got a little nervous when I went over there. I consoled him. So, let it sit a little bit and we'll just hose it all off. There's a lot of dirt coming off this thing. So, that's a good. I'm not trying to do a world-class job here. I'm just trying to get the bulk of it off and all the WD-40 off and make it somewhat enjoyable when we start digging into it tomorrow. That, and it's hot enough outside that all this will be dry tomorrow morning, so we don't have to worry about a lot of moisture on the ground. So we'll clean the outside and then we'll clean the inside. So we got in the trunk here this mat. The inside, I tore that, but you will never see it. It goes under the seat. We're going to have to take all of this out tomorrow and really clean it or throw it out. But this right here is a good rubber mat I took out of the car that the seats came out of right there. And once we really get to looking at the carpet and deciding whether we can clean it or not, sorry about that. We're going to try to clean it first because I'd like to leave the carpet. I'd like to keep the rubber mat for something else. But if we can't get it cleaned, you know what? We'll just put it in and we'll just toss the carpet. But I think we can clean the carpet. It's a little grimy, but carpet in automotive is nylon, and usually with a little bit of chemical stimulation and a brush, you can usually get the gist of it out. And the dyes now are so advanced that I can get a spray can full of it and I can really make it look nice. But that's the one thing. And the other thing we're going to do on the outside is the tires. Got a set of 16-inch rims that are supposed to be on here, and these are 17-inch tires. Now I really want these wheels for the other two cars as spares, but these are going to go on for now until I can find tires for those rims. They're going to be used tires. I'm not going to spend, you know, $900 putting tires on this. If I can get a good set for $100-150, I'll do it. I've got a budget in mind, and we'll talk about that a little later. Well, no, I'll tell you now. I got a $1,000 budget on this car. I'm $300 into it. So I want to be into tires for no more than about $250 at the most. So I got $300 in parts, and we'll have to wait and see what all works here. I've got the lug nuts soaking in oil right there, and then I've got another door panel for the driver's side that's in a lot better shape than the one that's in there. The only other thing is I really want to use these, but I could only find 2 of them, and I've got 4 of these that came with the wheels that were on it, but truthfully I like those better, but I'll stick these on for now. The problem I was having, as I stated before, was those take like a weird flange, double flanged lug nut to clip onto, and I went to 2 different junkyards off 4 different cars and finally got all the lug nuts I need. I got extras thankfully now, but they're hard to find. I mean, I suppose I could have gone to Ford, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. So see here, this little lip right here is what the hubcap clips into. So I'll get these out probably tomorrow when I put the tires on and just put everything together. They'll all be coming back off just because the car's going to need a brake job eventually, but I'll worry about that a little later. I really want to get it running well first and get it cleaned up. So, and once I get it cleaned up and we start really digging into why it's not running right, I'll have an idea of how deep I really want to go into it. So I had to come inside. It's getting a little warm out there. It's a lot warm out there. So as it stands now, with the purchase price of the car and the budget that I have, if I have to sell it, even with the misfire, I should get all my money back. I should be able to break even on everything. So right now I'm into the car about $800 and right at $900, honestly. I haven't thrown the brakes in because I bought the brakes for the other car, but the other car didn't need them. And I'm probably going to check the back, and the 2 shocks and the 1 strut I took out of that car were still good, so I may stick them in that car, but we'll see. But aside from that though, I mean, that's what the plan is. So we're going to get the whole thing cleaned up first, and then once we get it all cleaned up, we'll see where we stand, because that's the important thing. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this car. I just want to get it running. I want to get it looking good, and just see where it goes from there. Am I going to keep it? Am I going to sell it? I haven't decided yet. I've got it in my mind that I want to sell it, but I kind of want to sell the other one too. And so I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be a fun journey. So I enjoy doing things like this. But right now it's really freaking hot out there. So I think that's going to be it for today. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And next video, we're cleaning the inside. I really wanted to do all of this in one video, but it's too hot, and the video would be just way too long. So I guess the next video that comes out, we're going to tear the whole inside out, and we're going to see where we stand with that. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. So see you next video.